I have logged well over 100 hours on the Jet oscillating spindle sander. This is no nonsense reviews. Let's go underground. This is the Jet 6x89 inch belt sander. 1.5 horsepower, single phase, 115 volt. Normal 110 outlet plug. Belt speed 1800. Oscillation stroke 1/2 inch. Table 12 by 24 inches. Dust collection 4 inch. And is about 150 pounds, so weighs a little bit to set up. What I've always cared about more than specs is user experience. And literally sitting here using it for more than 100 hours, here is my experience, pros and cons. First, the good things. It just keeps going. Honestly, I bought a Grizzly, their exact same model of this, and it broke on me. But the Jet lasted me 3 years, and so I bought another one. This is a new one I have, but I still got the old one. It just continues to run. Removal material is pretty fast, especially if you're using something below 80 grit. I love the speed with this, as well as the oscillating is really nice. Adds a little bit of longevity to the belt. The on and off switch are solid and make it easy so that you don't accidentally bump into it, but you can turn it on easily. I do like the storage underneath. This allows me to store extra accessories in here that come with the sander. I like the fact that we get the corner table. It's really easy to install. Slides in, tightens down. Additionally, you can raise it and lower it to the exact part of the sandpaper you want to use so that you don't wear out the sandpaper quite as quick. It also comes nice and square when you tighten it in all the way, so there's very little adjustments you need to do. Also comes with your stop if you want it. Place this in and then allow the material to stop. You also have your angle gauge that you can put in the track to sand at specific angles if you like that sort of thing. Additionally, you can screw in the fence for your sanding needs. To release tension on the belt, super easy like that. And then there's this knob over here that adjusts the traction. Now that we discussed some of the good stuff, here's some of the bad stuff or annoying stuff. The first one is changing out the belt. You release these two to get this guard out of the way. And then you can slide up the belt. And this is the part I don't like. That's just too finicky. And it's just like really annoying to have to fit it in there and get it around these screws it always catches in down there. And get it retightened. Get this piece. There we go, back in. Okay, now ready to go. That is just too much for me. The saving grace for me is that with the projects I do, I don't often change out different grits. So in one project, I'm not going from 100 to 180 to 220. I normally just stick with one grit. So I only change it out when the belt's worn out. So I'm able to sand a significant amount of time, but if you're changing the belt multiple times per project, that would get annoying. Now the other belt sanders I've used, I don't know what the better solution is. I haven't found one much better though. The other bad thing, dust collection is a nightmare with a big sander. I don't know how to solve it. I've tried so many different things. So we have our 4-inch dust, and if it's closed, it's pretty good dust collection. But if you need to open it to work on this side, it's terrible. Now I have placed other 4-inch catching plates down here to suck all the residual stuff falling out. And that helps a little bit, but then it gets in the way of when I'm standing in the corner sometimes as well. Something I did to this one, I modified it by putting on some casters, and that's been really nice here in my shop because I like to organize things frequently enough or move things out of the way frequently enough to create more space that it has become very handy. I used it for a couple years with just the feet that comes with it. And then later on, I got some casters, put them on. I would recommend putting casters on. One of the options with changing the sandpaper is to just get 2 of these sanders, and then you can have your 2 primary types of sandpaper if you're doing more like prosumer production type work. On hobbyist projects, this thing is unbelievably awesome, and speed's normally not the primary goal on those projects. So you can take your time, and changing out the sandpaper is not such a big deal. There's one question I always ask myself to test if the tool's worth it. And that is, if I did not have this tool today, would I re-buy it? The answer for this one is a yes. It's great value for what it does. For my needs, it's great. A few small annoyances. Maybe there's a belt sander that solves the dust collection and solves the belt removal problem. But in the end, with my knowledge and my experience with about 7 different belt sanders, I would get this one again.